Welcome back to part 2 of my Stellar Blade kind of review. So in this stretch we are hour 5 to 10, so 5 more hours in, and this time it was quieter than the first half. Less bombshell first impressions, it was more of the game pulling you deeper into the world without you actually realizing it. To be fair, I didn't mind that either, because this is where the world opens up. From the moment you unlock Xion, everything opens up. From side quests to shops, the freedom to explore without feeling lost. The surprising part about it is that none of this felt overwhelming, because you kind of have to manually go through the town in order to unlock stuff, and there's always one main quest line anchoring you to continue the story immediately or take your time on exploring what humanity's last city has to offer. But beyond that, you can pretty much breathe. The other thing you get with Xion is shops, and shops have this system where basically the more you buy, the more you unlock. But they call it an affection system because this system makes shopkeepers have their own little stories that they tell you when the affection levels go up. Here we have Kaya, for example. She's waiting for her sister, and her shop's name is Sister's Junk because of that. And this is all because of a background story that she told me after I bought enough items from her. The info dealer is the same thing. This just makes me feel a tad bit more invested, as if they had lives, and the game takes small quiet moments to show you that. Now let's talk about the Wastelands. Here is a biggie, because the Wastelands are huge and they will humble you. I have died more times out here than my entire first 5 hours combined. Enemy patterns are harder to memorize, harder to predict, and when 4 of them decide to come at you at the same time, it genuinely feels impossible. And I was not ready for this difficulty spike, but in all fairness, exploring out here is quite rewarding to a certain degree, of course, because nothing really shows up on the map until you found it. Chests are everywhere, fights are around every corner, and there's this sense of scale that makes Xion feel like a very good home base or home hub in a very hostile world for the time being. Now out here I did find an unexpected layer, because the dead people's notes scattered around the wastelands, and I usually skip notes on the ground. I mean, I click on them but then I just scroll past them, but these ones still caught my eye, because what I got were final messages from people warning specifically about Xion and Oracle itself, not the NIKKEs, but Xion. And I'm not sure what to do about it yet, but I will keep this in the back of my mind. Now out in the Wastelands there are tons to do side quests. This stretch I was mostly doing side quests. Now I ran into my nemesis again, the spitting NIKKE from the early game. This time he's yellow, not green, and clearly still has a personal grudge against me because I still died against him even though I knew what he did. And when I actually beat him after a second try, it still got me to my last potion, though it wasn't as flashy as I wanted it to, as this was just a rematch, but I still beat it, so that's a win on my part. Then let's go back to the main story, the only main story this stretch actually. First we met Quiel, the guardian Oracle assigned to protect the entrance of our next destination. Incredible design, by the way. The fight itself was one of the best so far. I only did it in one try, but the moment that made it really good was that I parried her 6 combo move after failing to parry that same combo twice before. And when it finally clicked, the stun triggered and then I defeated her. Now before heading further to the main story, I have to mention 2 things. So I had DLC on, so the NIKKE collab was here in the Wastelands. First, Scarlet arrived, and damn, I don't play NIKKE, but her design is amazing. And she comes with her own dog, and the collab content is literally just NIKKE inside of Stellar Blade to unlock NIKKE cosmetics from hair to clothes. Now, the second thing I decided early on was every major arc, I'm changing Eve's hair and outfit to mark the progression visually. In this chapter, she's rocking bright green hair and new bangs. It's a small personal touch, but it makes this journey feel like it has chapters, and I really like seeing that progression in real time. Now back to the main story. So right after defeating Quiel, the main story this stretch sent us underground to Altess Levoire. A weird egg-shaped stone elevator takes you down, and the moment you arrive, your hair clip sword thing just stops working. Apparently it's a signal issue, and all you have now now is your drone. Now then the atmosphere hits you. It's dark, it's disgusting, it's really disturbing. The creatures out here are unlike anything we've ever seen yet. There are these blood clot monsters that crawl in the darkness and explode the moment they touch you or you shoot at them. The first time I saw them crawling at me, I genuinely got creeped out. Not like the earlier jump scare creeped out, but like I actually had to remind myself what game I was playing at this point. And I was talking about jump scares because the jump scares in this place are relentless. You have to watch every single corner because something is waiting to attack you. It fully commits on being a horror game for this stretch, and I kind of respect it for that. Though the boss at the end is a giant, disgusting, mass shooting pus and spawning those same blood clot monsters. But to be fair, it was actually the easiest boss so far. I play some FPS games, so aiming felt kind of natural at this point, but everything that this place has put me through emotionally, and then the boss being that easy, is kind of anticlimactic. But here is where the lore gets kind of complicated, because by defeating the boss of Altess Levoire, we get a thing called a legacy, and it's basically hologram records left by previous squad soldiers just like Eve. And what they reveal starts to give us, the player, more of a view on what has happened in the world. Not just the player though, because it seems like the people in the world are also left in the dark. So basically the information that we got was that there was a war before the final war, and basically the final war was the war against NIKKE. But the war before that, it was humanity versus AIs that they built themselves, and the humans were losing. But then all of a sudden NIKKE appeared and wiped out the AIs? But now you almost have no humans and possibly no AI left, and NIKKE are everywhere. So my first thought here was, did people make NIKKE to win the war? But then it got out of hand, and then they lost to their own creations again, just like with the AI? But that's also what got me thinking, because throughout these side quests, you meet people that we consider human, who don't quite seem like it. Because we have Enya here, for example, and she seems very robotic. She's missing her whole bottom part, her whole chest and torso up is pretty much an android, but she's considered a human. And then we got people like Kaya, the shop owner, who looks completely normal. She just looks like a normal girl. So what is a human in this world, actually? The working theory I have for now is that humanity is more of a concept at this point because of how few there are. And during a side quest, this man tells us that there has been biological humans in the past. So that means that there are no more biological humans? And if that's true, then what does that make Eve? People call her Angel because she came from the colony, and black market merchants want her innards because they were rare. But does any of that make her less of a human than anyone else in Xion? As it seems like androids are considered humans. I genuinely don't know yet. Now throughout all of this, Adam was suspiciously calm and Lily was actually genuinely surprised. It was the same information but completely different reaction, and that just confirms from what I said in the first video. Like he just feels like a know-it-all at this point. Now let's talk about gameplay changes in this stretch. The goddamn drone gun, specifically the shotgun, which is genuinely broken, because the moment I realized that I didn't have to let 3 enemies bully me at the same time in the Wastelands, I just blasted through the first ones and then thinned them out and then engage in melee with whoever's left. The rifle handles smaller mobs, the shotgun finishes bigger threats, and the ammo limitation keeps it from being too easy. It added a whole new layer on how I think mid-combat, and I wish I figured it out sooner. But now I know why they had us locked to only using the drone gun during Altess Levoire. It was so that we could get used to it in general and apply it during our combat outside. Another huge moment came when Lily upgraded Eve to make her lighter, and this made us unlock the double jump. It sounds simple on paper, but it really did change everything. The movement complaints from the first video, the heavy jumps suddenly felt way better. We feel like we have more momentum, more control, and now I'm not sure if this is placebo or whether it's actually the double jump or it's Lily literally making Eve lighter. I'm not sure, but either way, it feels like a reward and I will take it. After this stretch of the main story, Xion itself looks different now. After the second hypercell powered more of the city, people are warmer towards Eve. The music in the main area of Xion shifted into something more hopeful. The world is visibly responding to what you're doing, and this feedback loop genuinely feels satisfying. So what would be my verdict at only 10 hours in? So I would say hour 1 to 5 was more of a discovery. Everything was new, everything surprised me. Gameplay, people, characters, but now hour 5 to 10, it was already deeper understanding. Everything was quieter, slower, because I was using all of the side quests and only one main quest during this stretch, but the world got bigger and the questions got more interesting. The main quest is about to pick up, and something about those notes warning me about Xion and Oracle is making me think that the story is about to get a lot heavier. Though the next part is 20 hours in, so double the usual hours that I do. But in any case, let's see what this game has more to offer us, because I cannot wait to pick it back up.